I got asked multiple times to have a look at the water meme coin on Solana. In this video, we're going to look at on-chain data. We're going to look at who's buying, who's selling here, because unfortunately, in the last few weeks, water didn't do too well. Is this potentially an opportunity to buy low and sell high? Because obviously we are now low. It's not necessarily always right to just ride the current momentum. Sometimes it might make sense to be contrarian. Let's have a look. So the price of water is currently 0.3064. We are down 72% since listing on CoinMarketCap, and that was roughly 3 weeks ago. And despite this very bad price action, water is still one of the largest meme coins on Solana. So have a look at this. This is Dex Screener. This is the Solana chain, and we are ordering all coins, all tokens on the chain by liquidity. So how much money is actually in the liquidity pool of a token. And the water token, even after that drop, is still the 4th largest token. And have a look at the performance in the last 24 hours. It's still one of the worst performers. Crypto isn't doing too bad recently, but water is. And so that's then the long-term chart. Let's take away the initial dump. Just look at the recent price action. We are relatively low in that negative trend, but if you just look at the pace of this downwards trend, it's almost 50% in the span of 2 weeks. So on the chart, it looks relatively harmless, but actually this is quite steep. And it's not because there is not enough buyers, right? Just have a look at this. The number of buyers actually exceeded the number of sellers in the last 24 hours. Still, we are down 20%. And that's simply because the sellers tend to be selling more than the buyers, despite the price going down. Usually we see the exact opposite. When the price is rising in a meme coin, then the sellers tend to be selling more in terms of US dollars because they take profit, right? They maybe turned $1,000 into $3,000, and then when they exit, of course, there's more sell pressure. When the price is going down, usually it needs more sellers than buyers for the price to continue to go down. But right now we actually see more buyers, but the sellers still sell more. The amount per transaction when there's a sale tends to be higher than when there's a buy. My impression is that the team and the early adopters, they continue to sell hard, because even on days where there are more new investors versus recurring investors, we still see the price going down. Check out this graph. We want to see more first-time traders than recurring traders, because new first-time traders means that the investor base is growing. And so there was a lot of adoption on the first 2 days. And then on the 8th of July, we saw another influx of first-time traders. The 8th of July is over here, where we initially got our dump and then a subsequent pump. But still, overall, the negative momentum prevailed. This is very atypical. Usually, we see the price reverting, getting bullish whenever there's a lot of new people coming in, because that often means that there's some kind of marketing going on, some kind of positive news, and that normally bleeds into several days, and that normally leads to positive price action. Not so for water. We saw a pump and a dump, and all of those new first-time traders. Roughly 10,000 new wallets in a single day did not help the price. And so all of this looks very bearish. There is one interesting metric though that says the opposite. Check this out. This is the number of retail investors versus whale investors. So we are counting here the wallets with different holding thresholds. On the left side, we've got the number of wallets that have at least 1.5 million tokens. That's currently $1,000 worth of the token. So that's retail. That went down since launch. In the middle, we've got medium-sized retail. That's now at 10x. So that's minimum $10,000 worth of the token. On the right, we've got the whales. That's a minimum holding of $100,000 worth of the token. Usually, we do not see this dynamic. Usually, we see accumulation by retail and dumping by the whales. Not this time. The smart money is accumulating. The heavyweights are buying. Because this is how I see crypto, right? Crypto is both a game of skill and of luck. And the people that play the game for long enough, they accumulate more and more capital. So the whales tend to make the better calls than just your average retail Joe. And so when very deep pockets are buying, this is a potentially good signal. There are 45 wallets out there that have at least $100,000 worth of the token. It might make sense to simply get into SOL scan and have a look at what those kinds of wallets are. One explanation could be accumulation by centralized exchanges, right? Gate.io has 20% of trading volume, and maybe they want to manipulate the token at some point. It's not easy to manipulate the token because, again, the liquidity pool on chain is relatively large. But in case you're considering to short this token because of the negative momentum, think again, right? There is potentially some danger. There's a lot of volatility here as well. If you're betting on falling prices at the wrong time, you might wake up to a price pump of almost 300%. I personally like shorting altcoins in this market. I do not like to short water because, again, smart money is buying. But the problem is that currently crypto as a whole is not expanding anymore. The stablecoin market cap is simply going sideways since the end of April of this year. So it's 100% a player versus player game, and especially inflationary tokens have a very hard time in this market. For example, have a look at this token. It expands in supply continuously, and thus the relative performance to Bitcoin and Ethereum looks like this. This is what I personally currently bet on. I bet on falling prices of this asset. I'm sharing what that asset is in premium, so feel free to check it out. It's thebitcoinstrategy.com. There's also a dedicated tutorial video on how to set this all up. If your crypto portfolio is at least $5,000, you should be making your money back just by depositing parts of that portfolio into the short. So you're betting on this graph to simply just continue what it always did. And again, there's a justifiable reason for that. It's the token inflation. This is, I believe, where currently the alpha is. It's very hard to make money with meme coin trading when there's no new players entering the space and when the insiders are dumping on new joiners. It's not so hard though to bet on falling prices, again because most altcoins underperform Bitcoin and Ethereum most of the time. Most returns are concentrated in just a few assets, and if you avoid those assets, then alpha, then outperformance is almost guaranteed. I will continue to make updates on various meme coins, so feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. If your portfolio isn't yet large enough to justify premium, there's also a free Telegram. The link is as well down below. Looking very much forward to chatting with you. Cheers.